All right. So please remember, we have three things. Oh, that's the highlighter. We have three things. Okay. Number one, the goal of working is obviously to be paid for the time it takes to make the compound. Okay. So number one. Number two, and it's not super important that you understand what the dispensing fee comes from, but the dispensing fee covers things like, overhead business costs. It covers, insurance, the billing. It's basically just what we charge everyone, flat fee, usually. And number three, because we're not just giving them thin air, we're not just giving them, hopes and wishes, we're giving them actual drugs. We're doing costs of medication, or we'll put compound / compound. Okay. And it basically boils down to, how you would interact with anyone that you're giving something, right? If you're trying to sell your car, you are wanting the value of the car, you want your money back. Okay. So if we have those three things, we have what we need to charge the patient. So we're just going to do an easy problem that we don't have to do any sort of calculation for the amount of the drug first. The triamcinolone. Okay, here's one. How much should be charged? Is anyone in the waiting room? Just gotta make sure I let people in. Nope, just you still. Okay. How much should be charged for 100 mils of hydrocortisone? Two milligrams per mil. If the dispensing fee is $4.25, cost of ingredients is $22.20. And the compound was prepared in 18 minutes. Took 18 minutes to make. So you're basically asking yourself, what do we need to charge this patient if that is our drug cost? Let me highlight that. How much did our hydrocortisone cost? It cost $22.20, cost 18 minutes to make, and the dispensing fee. Does that satisfy having all three components that I just told you to have? Yes, it does, right? We have our dispensing fee. Let me switch back. Dispensing fee. We have the cost of drugs, and then we have the time. Okay. First things first, we're gonna pay ourselves because we want to get paid. Took us 18 minutes to make. You do not know how many dollars. Let me just draw a question mark and then a dollar sign. You don't know how many dollars that is unless you're just a mathematician. Or we could remember the fact that we're being paid $60 an hour, and $60 an hour is the same as $1 a minute. But I'm going to go ahead and show you. So 60 minutes is in 1 hour. You know our hourly rate, $60 per hour. So that means $60 for 60 minutes. $60 That turns into 60 times 18 divided by 60. Let me get out my calculator. 1 second. 60 times 18 divided by 60. We're gonna get paid $18 an hour. Sorry, $18, right? I don't even need a calculator. $18 a minute. So that is one component. That's how much we need to get paid, okay? We already have, it's nicely spelled out for us, the cost of ingredients, which is $22.20. Perfect. And then the last component is the dispensing fee. Okay, so this one was an easy problem. I will say the majority of the billing compounds you will get are gonna be like this. You're gonna have 3 components. You're gonna have to add them together. So if you add those together, what do you get? 18 plus 22.20 plus 425. 44.45. Is that the correct answer? Yes. 44.45. Okay. So yes, that was an easy one. So let's go back to the one about the metoprolol. I like that one. Number 5. So I'm not gonna, for time's sake, I'm not gonna spell out the entire problem. I'm just gonna write the highlights. Okay, so it took us 20 minutes to make. And FYI, your hourly rate is gonna be the same on this test. You're gonna get paid $60 an hour, so it's gonna make it nice and neat to figure out how much you're getting paid for a minute. So if it took 20 minutes to make, go ahead and write $20, right? You're getting paid $1 a minute. That's how much you need to get paid. Is the dispensing fee listed in the problem? Yes, it is. It is $3.25. So just off the bat, I haven't even done any calculations. I already have 2 of the components. All I'm missing is my drug cost. Because once again, you need to pay yourself, you need to pay the pharmacy, and then you need to pay for the drugs you're using. Okay, so it says metoprolol tartrate. $10 milligrams per milliliter in a 50-50 mixture of Aura Sweet and Aura Plus. Is anyone in the waiting room now? No. Okay. I've given up. Okay, 50-50 mixture of Aura Sweet, Aura Plus, and then it says to QS to 120 mils. Okay. Don't let QS confuse you. It's going to make more sense next semester, I promise. But QS means quantity sufficient. So basically, like I told someone in class, it's kind of like when you are at the soda machine and you're, getting a Coke. You fill up the Coke and it foams up and then you let it settle, right? You're trying to get a full glass of whatever you want. And what do? You add extra when the foam settles, right? You're QSing it to the total that you need. So when you QS something, you are making it that final volume. You're making it 120 mils. So let's go ahead and ask ourselves, a 50-50 mixture is 1/2 and 1/2. Would you agree? I hope so, because 50-50 of anything means you're halfway. Okay. So if it's 120 mils and you're trying to divide that into 2 equal parts, it's literally just 120 divided by 2, which is 60 mils. 60 mils plus 60 mils is 120. I hope you would agree. Okay. So that means we are using 60 mils of Aura Sweet, 60 mils of Aura Plus. Okay. 60 mils and 60 mils. So we paid for that. That's a compound. Okay, so look at your cost of ingredients. And in that cost of ingredients, it says that we paid $9.47 for 473 mils. So once again, I'm gonna remind you that when we have a bulk container, that's 473 mils. If we have a bulk container of this, if I only use 60 mils of it, does it make any sense for me to like throw it away? Does it make any sense for me to, charge the patient for the entire amount? No, not really. It's not really ethical. So we're going to charge them for exactly the cost of what they use. So our 473 mil bottle cost us how much? $9.47. Okay. So that right there is a proportion. You paid $9.47 for a 473 mil container. How much did 60 mils cost you? Okay, so once again, calculator, 9.47 times 60 divided by 473. And you get 1.20. So the cost of the ingredients is $1.20. Okay, so that's how much you need to pay, or that's how much you need to charge for your Aura Suite. And just remember, the cost of your Aura Suite and Aura Plus the same, you're giving the same, so this is going to cost $120 as well. So boom, that is Aura Suite and Aura Plus. But is that the only thing we gave this patient? And the answer is no. We did not just give them Aura Suite or an Aura Plus, we gave them medication, which is the metoprolol tartrate. So in this right here, in this statement right here, that's saying that this is the concentration that is prescribed. The doctor wants a metoprolol 10 milligram per mil solution. So how big is the container? It's 120 mils. So 120 mils total is going to contain how many milligrams? Because this right here is our concentration, which is 10 milligrams per 1 milliliter. And so when you have that concentration, it's going to be consistent. The entire product is going to be 10 milligrams per mil. So this calculation right here will give you the exact milligrams in your 120 ml bottle. So 120 times 10 divided by 1 is 1,200 milligrams. So that means for your entire 120 ml bottle, you need 1,200 milligrams of metoprolol. But if you look back to your problem, you don't just have a one single 1,200 milligram tablet of metoprolol. You do not. You just have 100 milligram tablets. So if you have 100 milligram tablets, you need to say, okay, well, how many of those 100 milligram tablets do I need in order to make up my 1,200? You could think about it, 12 divided by 1 is 12. That's so 1,200 divided by 100 is 12. So you're going to use 12 tablets in order to make that compound. That doesn't tell us anything about how much it costs, right? Look back at your number and tell yourself how much you paid for your metoprolol. And in the problem, it says metoprolol tartrate 100 milligrams equals 35 cents per tablet. So you paid 35 cents for one tablet. You're not just giving them one tablet, you're giving them 12. 12 times 0.35 is $4.2. $4.20. Okay, so I know that was a lot of steps, but that's how we got our last component, right? We started we started the problem off with the dollars, okay? And then we have the time it took, the 20 minutes. I'm sorry. We started with 20 minutes. We have the dispensing fee, and now we have the cost of the drug. We have, let me highlight it in a different color. We have our $4.20 we just calculated for the metoprolol. We have $1.20 for the Aura Sweet, $1.20 for the Aura Plus. So you need to add those together. 420 plus 120 plus 120 is equal to 6.6. And then you need to add your 20 and your 3.25, right? Because the 6.6 was the cost of your drug, the 20 was the time, and your 3.25 was your dispensing fee. So let's do that again. So 6.6 plus 20 plus 3.25. And you should hopefully end up with about 29.85. And highlighter. 20, oh my gosh. 29.85. Okay. So once again, to remind you, it's going to be time. You need to get paid. It needs to be your dispensing fee every time. And then it also has to be the cost of ingredients, right? It's basically anything with business. You know, any business operates like that. You know, the people that are working are getting paid. The products that you're selling, you need to be paid for. And then, you know, obviously you need to pay for the establishment and the business. So really every single problem is like that. Where things might confuse you are things like a percentage of a cream, okay? So let's imagine, I hope that everyone knows what a tub of, we'll call it Aquaphor. If you've ever heard of Aquaphor, you know it's just in a giant tub. It's this like cream type deal. So they come in things that are 454 gram containers, which by the way, if you remember from your conversions, 454 grams is how many pounds? 1 pound. Anyways, so let's say that you're walking around the shelves of Walmart's and you see that this is $5. Okay. So it costs you $5 for this tub of Aquaphor. But right next to it, you have, and I'm going to try to draw it as accurately as possible because these are on the shelf, this like little squeezy type container, right? It's a little smaller. We'll call this 120 grams of Aquaphor. Okay. We'll say that cost $1. And you're sitting there thinking, okay, well, which one is the better buy? You know, you want to obviously spend the less amount of money for what you're getting. So you're going to say, okay, well, how do I figure that out? Well, the easiest way would be to figure out how many dollars am I paying for 1 gram of this? How many dollars am I paying for 1 gram of that? How do you figure that out? Well, you just divide. So $5 divided by 454 grams. And then on this one, you're going to do $1 divided by 120 grams. So just real quick, just to entertain me, and do 5 divided by 454. So that is 0.01. We'll call it $0.011 per gram. And then on the $1 one, 1 divided by 120 is 0.08. I'm sorry, 0.008. Okay. Per gram and then per gram. Okay, so if you're just walking the shelf and you see that dollar on that one, you might think that that's a better deal, but you did the math and you calculated, I'm actually overpaying, right? You're paying 0.0, I'm sorry, I said that backwards. You're paying $0.008 per gram. So that's less than $0.011 per gram. So this is actually the better buy. So how that relates to business math is you need to ask yourself, how much do I need to be paid for this product so I don't lose money? So let's refer, because you did your calculation, you said, okay, well, this one's the better buy. Okay. And you're using that in your compound. And you're only using 60 grams of Aquaphor. How do you come up with a number to charge the patient? Do you just, sort of spitball it, I guess, get an idea and then just make up a number? No, you actually have a calculation method. 60 grams of Aquaphor costs you how many dollars? Because you paid, what did you pay? You paid $1 for 1 gram. You're giving 60 grams. So I can just look at that and go ahead and say that that's going to be 50 cents. Okay. Because 60 grams is half of 120. And that makes sense, right? That shows you how much you need to charge for that product based on what you paid for it. Because if this person is only getting 60 grams of Aquaphor for this medication, what's to say they're not going to come back the next month and get it again, right? So you can make 2 doses from your one purchase of your Aquaphor. Okay. And this goes this way with everything. It doesn't have to be as easy as Aquaphor. This could be that you paid $30 for a 100 count bottle of Tylenol. And then a prescription is for 30 tablets. How would you calculate the cost of ingredients? Okay, so how would you calculate how much your cost for the 30 tablets is? You would just set it up in another proportion. You would say that you paid $30 for 100 of them. How much are you going to pay for 30? $30 times 30 divided by 100. It's going to cost you $9. So really, and this is true for every one of these problems, it's going to be set up exactly that way, unless you're giving the entire amount of the product. So here, I'm not sure if you're still there, but if you are, let me know what else you're needing help with, or if there's any other concept that I need to help you with. Are you still there? Okay. Do you need me to cover anything? Do you need me to talk about, how I got a number, how you work a problem? What do you think in particular that you need help with? Okay. Well, seeing as you're the only one in here, if you don't have any other questions, just let me know if that's good for you. But if you don't have any other questions, I'm probably going to sign off for the day. Okay. I will say I'm not going to give very many challenging ones. There might be like 2 or 3 of the challenging ones on the billing. Just make sure you're aware of, asking yourself, okay, how much am I giving of my product? How much did that cost me? And then just adding it together. That's really the hardest part, is figuring out what the cost of ingredients is. So just work through those problems a little bit, see if you're getting the right answer. They're going to be very, very similar to the homework. Okay, so that is all. Have a good night. I will see you tomorrow.